Switzerland entered this tournament with massive expectations. After a qualifying campaign where they allowed fewer goals than nearly anyone else in Europe, this squad carried a deep, quiet confidence that they were among the world's elite. Bosnia, on the other hand, arrived with a very different objective. Their entire tactical identity is built around suffering. They are perfectly comfortable dropping into a deep defensive block, absorbing endless waves of pressure, and grinding out scoreless draws. For 70 agonizing minutes, that exact scenario played out on the pitch. The game was frozen at 0-0, playing flawlessly into the hands of the Bosnian defense. The Swiss attack was completely out of sync. Up front, the starting wingers were hesitating. Every time they pushed into the final third, they lacked the clear, decisive creation needed to pierce a low block. Instead of taking open shots from the edge of the area, they overcomplicated their decision-making.
Attackers routinely tried to thread delicate passes right through the legs of three stationed defenders, squandering open space for the sake of an impossible highlight reel play. By refusing to play direct football, Switzerland effectively neutralized their own talent advantage. They were on the verge of dropping vital group stage points to a team that hadn't even tried to score. Then, in the 72nd minute, the Swiss bench makes a double move. 20-year-old Monzambi and fellow substitute Vadas step onto the pitch. These two brought an entirely different mindset to the field. Where the starters hesitated, the young substitutes were ruthless. Their immediate goal was to isolate the Bosnian fullbacks and take them on, one-on-one with raw speed. The impact was instantaneous. Within 2 minutes, their aggressive, line-breaking runs fractured the Bosnian defense, tearing open the space needed to finally smash home the opening goal in the 74th minute. When facing a heavily fortified defense, complex passing sequences often lead to turnovers. The actual solution is to force defenders into foot races they know they can't win. Yet the fatal blow of the match arrived a few minutes later, in the 80th minute, when Bosnian center-back Muhamedovic was handed a straight red card. This animated diagram illustrates exactly where it went wrong for the defender. As the ball turns over, Muhamedovic is caught squared up, meaning his chest, hips, and feet are perfectly parallel to the attacker. He isn't standing on a half-turn, the angled stance defenders use so they can immediately launch into a full sprint. Because of that flat-footed posture, he has to completely rotate his hips 180 degrees to start running. That fraction of a second is all Swiss attacker Breel Embolo needs to blow right past him. Losing that sprint left Muhamedovic with only one terrible option. He lunged in for a desperate last-ditch tackle from behind, leaving the referee no choice but to send him off. Down a man and a goal, the disciplined Bosnian defense dissolved. The energized Swiss attackers flooded into the newly emptied spaces, burying 3 more goals in rapid succession. This late surge resulted in a 4-1 victory. To put that offensive explosion in perspective, this marked the first time the Swiss national team has scored 4 goals in a major match in 30 years. The fallout from that chaotic final stretch echoes straight into the final matches of the group stage. Switzerland now sits in absolute control of their own destiny as they prepare to face Canada. With a massive points buffer secured, the Swiss manager faces an enviable dilemma. Does he reward the young substitutes who broke the game open with starting roles, or does he use this cushion to rotate the squad and rest aging veterans for the knockout rounds? Meanwhile, Bosnia is staring down a much darker reality ahead of their final match against Qatar. They face an existential tactical crisis. A squad explicitly built to defend deep and grind out draws is now mathematically required to push forward, attack, and score goals to avoid elimination. To make matters worse, they have to invent this aggressive new identity without the anchor of their defense, since their best center back is serving a suspension from his red card. A football match lasts 90 minutes, but in a tournament setting, an entire tactical narrative, the fate of 2 different countries, and the path to the knockout stages can be rewritten entirely in a chaotic 20-minute window.